A very good morning to you and welcome to your news today. Coming up, Hurricane Melissa strengthens to a Category 5 as it barrels towards Jamaica. Plus, incredible video captures the moment Japan successfully launches a new rocket into space. And Tesla takeover, self-driving cars officially hit Aussie roads, why they're already sparking controversy.
We begin, though, with that wild weather wreaking havoc along Australia's east coast, with severe storms tearing through multiple states. In Queensland, the southeast copped the brunt, battered by giant hail and wind gusts close to 100 kilometres an hour, sending barbecues flying and cutting power to thousands of homes. Let's go live to Today Queensland reporter Andrea Crothers. Andrea, good morning to you. What is the situation on the ground this morning?
Well, Carl, this is what's been left behind. A tree ripped from its roots, smashing into a family home here in Toowong. I've just spoken to neighbours. They say this family were at home at the time. Luckily, they escaped unharmed physically, but they had looked like they'd seen a ghost. Meanwhile, behind us, you've got the wood chipper fellas hard at work. Energex has been going through the night to restore power to tens of thousands. As at 5 o'clock this morning, there were still 30,000 homes waking up in darkness. This after that dangerous storm rolled through. You saw hailstones 4 centimetres wide, wind gusts up to 100 k's. People had to flee Suncorp Stadium because the match there, the NRL, it was the footy match for the Pacific Championships, that was suspended. But meanwhile, today, Brisbane waking up to a foggy start. These are live shots of that fog blanketing the city. There's no disruptions to planes at this stage. We'll wait to see what comes of that. But we are set for a hot and sticky one. Brizzy's set for 37 degrees, a chance of more thunderstorms this afternoon, Carl.
Andrea, thank you. And the wild weather has swept further south, with Melbourne also lashed by storms and flash flooding across the city and suburbs. Gale-force winds, heavy rain and lightning knocked out power to more than 28,000 homes yesterday afternoon. Emergency crews responded to nearly 250 incidents, mostly for damaged buildings and fallen trees. Even a tram became stuck. It was Melbourne's wettest day in a year, with 32 millimetres of rain falling.
French police have arrested 2 men over the brazen theft of precious crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris. Mimi Becker joins us live now. Mimi, good morning to you. What do we know about the suspects who are in custody?
Good morning, Sarah. Well, the 2 men were reportedly known to police, both in their 30s, and had been living in the northern suburbs of Paris. But police were forced to swoop when one of the men were about to board a flight to Africa and flee Paris. Now, the breakthrough in the case comes a week after the brazen daylight robbery from the Louvre, where those precious crown jewels were stolen. And it's believed these men were part of a larger group of people who used a cherry picker to gain access to the Apollo Gallery and steal these precious jewels worth around 150 million Australian dollars. Now, a number of items were left behind at the scene, and it's understood that is what led officers to these suspects. Authorities haven't confirmed if any of the jewels have been recovered. At this stage, no charges have been laid, but police are still looking to also make further arrests in the case. Sarah?
All right, Mimi, thank you.
In less than 48 hours, Jamaica could be hit by the worst storm in the country's history as Hurricane Melissa bears down. Let's go live to US correspondent Jonathan Kersley, who's timing this out for us. Jono, good morning to you. The warnings are devastating.
This could be devastating, and it could be deadly indeed, because these winds right now are 225 kilometres an hour. They could be in excess of 250 kilometres an hour by the time it makes landfall. The problem right now is this is just moving so incredibly slowly. 7 kilometres an hour, giving it more time to increase its intensity before it makes landfall in Jamaica. People on the island are being told that they need to take shelter tonight and be prepared to stay there for 3-4 days or even more. We've seen preparations on the island over the course of the last couple of days, people trying to move boats away from shorelines because the warnings are catastrophic flooding is expected. Hurricane Melissa will sit on Jamaica itself for 24 hours. This is going to be a destructive couple of days ahead, Carl.
That is a nasty storm, Jono. Thank you. Japan's space agency has successfully launched a new unmanned rocket to deliver supplies to the International Space Station. The new H3 spacecraft is expected to arrive at the International Space Station within days.
Donald Trump has been welcomed at the 47th Annual ASEAN Summit in Malaysia. Close calls in the Pacific, the war in Ukraine and escalating tariffs are all on the table as dozens of leaders descend on Asia. Trump has already signed a flurry of deals on trade and critical minerals with 4 Southeast Asian partners, now preparing to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Seoul. Well, gone are the days of being away on Microsoft Teams, with a new update meaning bosses could pinpoint the exact location of employees at any time. Let's go live to today's Sydney reporter, Gabrielle Boyle. Gabby, good morning. So how will this work?
Good morning, guys. This is going to affect millions of workers. The update to Microsoft Teams effectively means that a company will be able to use its Wi-Fi to tell exactly where you are. So there'll be no more fibbing, no more white lies. You won't be able to be on the 15th floor here at Barangaroo pretending to be there when you're actually at your pool in Parramatta getting some sunshine and working from home. You'll have to be honest with your boss. You'll have to turn the app on though, so your boss will have to request that and you'll have to approve it. So there will be a bit of leeway there. What do you reckon? A good idea or too much closer supervision?
Gabby, I just want to know what happens on the 15th floor at Barangaroo.
I know.
Oh. What happens there? I wouldn't know.
A lot of typing.
A lot
Exactly,
of typing indeed. Thanks, Gabby.
The Palestinian Authority is urging Australia to help lead a UN-backed peacekeeping mission in Gaza. It's calling for troops to restore order, saying swift international action is vital to keep the fragile ceasefire alive. The Federal Coalition's climate clash is intensifying, with MPs remaining deeply divided against the party's net zero target. National Senator Matt Canavan is leading the charge to scrap the 2050 goal, warning it's hurting regional Australia. Well, self-driving Teslas have hit the road across the country despite doubts over the lack of automated vehicle laws. The Australian Automobile Association calling for new rules as Australia becomes the first country to roll out the Tesla takeover. That means the cars can indicate, steer, park, brake and accelerate all by themselves.
I'm not into it.
I don't like it either. Trust issues when it comes to those things.
I agree. I agree. Anyway, we won't be getting an ambassador role with them. Your weekly grocery shop might soon come with a brand new soundtrack, one that's a little more highbrow, says, than the usual pop hits.
Oh, but I like the pop hits. Eagle-eyed shoppers in Melbourne have noticed Coles Radio Imparan has swapped the usual chart-topping bangers for classical music, with opera tunes now spilling out from the aisles onto Chapel Street. The switch has earned the nod from some locals who say it's turning the humble grocery run into a mini dose of high culture. Can't hear it though, can we? It won't last long anyway. They'll soon be rolling out the Queen of Christmas's album.
Get people pumped up for a shop.
I love walking through the aisles and hearing an old banger from the 70s or 80s or 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
Best.
That's why we shop at Woolies.
Yes, exactly.
Taking a quick look at the weather across the country now. Hot and elevated fire conditions across Queensland, with heavy fog impacting Brisbane and the Gold Coast.
Cooler for Sydney with showers and windy conditions expected. Scattered showers also for Canberra, Melbourne and Hobart, while Adelaide will be cloudy, fine conditions for Perth.